So recently, I saw this tweet and I was like, what? So apparently, the OnePlus 12 is going to be more expensive. Oh yeah, I already have the phone and I'm in the process of testing it. But before that, I really want to talk about this rumored pricing of the OnePlus 12. It seems to be quite a bit higher than the launch price of the OnePlus 11. But what we'll try to analyze is whether the hardware spec upgrades that are made to the OnePlus 12 is worth that price rise. Well, if you're here for the first time, I'm Arshad. You're watching Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. First things first, the OnePlus 12 is a much bigger phone now. It's put on some weight and it has a much larger screen compared to the OnePlus 11. But there are reasons for the added girth and let's get into that. It has a larger 5400 mAh battery inside and you've got support for 50-watt wireless charging as well this time around. There's also a proper 70mm 3x periscope lens on the OnePlus 12 now. And OnePlus has also now added a dual split vapor cooling chamber, the size of which is 9140mm square, which means that there's a smaller vapor cooling chamber and a larger vapor cooling chamber as well. OnePlus is calling this cryo velocity VC structure. How that translates to real world usage and whether the phone actually runs cool is something that we have to test out, and stay tuned for that video. I also like the fact that OnePlus has finally listened to feedback and the Type-C port at the bottom is USB Type-C Gen 3.2 standard now. Plus the IP rating has been slightly bumped up to IP65 from IP64 on the OnePlus 11. A detail you'll miss out on if you don't check closely. There are upgrades to the display as well, and not just in size but also the fact that you now get higher peak brightness, especially when you're watching HDR content or Dolby Vision content on Netflix. The peak brightness on the OnePlus 12 touches 4500 nits, of course, in a limited window, but still that's pretty high. The glass protection has also been bumped up from Gorilla Glass Victus to Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front, and it's Gorilla Glass 5 on the back. And there's this new Aqua Touch feature on the display which apparently ensures that your display will still work and the touch response will still work even in rainfall. You know how many times I've struggled with this, especially when I'm taking a bath and watching something and I'm trying to touch the screen? Or don't tell me you guys don't use the phone while you're taking a bath. Come on, don't lie to me. Another thing I really want to test out is the performance of the LYT808 sensor used on the OnePlus 12. Of course, it's got Hasselblad tuning as well. Now, when we tested out the Chinese variant and we did a camera review, if you haven't seen that yet, go check that out. There were some inconsistencies with it. I want to see if OnePlus has fixed that in the global and the Indian variant. Plus, the selfie camera has been upgraded to 32 megapixels now, which means that you can also do 4K video recording, which is damn cool. And finally, there's also the upgraded Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which is of course the most powerful flagship chip on an Android phone now. It'll be interesting to see how OnePlus has tuned it, so of course you've got to subscribe to the channel for the detailed review. Apparently OnePlus has introduced a new Trinity engine for even more performance boost, and it has words thrown in like hyper boost, RAM vitalization, hyper rendering, and so on and so forth. Basically the phone go vroom vroom vroom, and obviously I'm gonna take it out for a test ride to see if that actually translates in real world usage and how that actually translates in real world usage. If the price of the OnePlus 12's base variant, the 12 to 56GB variant, is actually 69,999. You see what I did there, right? Then it's definitely quite a bump up from OnePlus 11's launch price of its base variant 8128GB. Oh yeah, that's a tiny detail worth highlighting out here. The base variant of the OnePlus 12 is going up in size, and all phones launching in 2024 should launch with 256GB by default, so OnePlus is doing that. Now, if OnePlus were to launch an 8128GB variant, then maybe it would have been priced lower, but since it starts at 12 to 256, so it will be more expensive. And the other upgrades like the larger battery, support for wireless charging, the periscope 3x camera, the vapor cooling chamber, the upgraded Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, all of that is of course going to cost more. To me, the OnePlus 12 makes fewer compromises than the OnePlus 11 did, and it's almost nearly a pro-grade flagship, at least in terms of the hardware specs that are on offer. OnePlus could have easily called this the OnePlus 12 Pro and gotten away with it, honestly. In fact, the OnePlus 12 feels more like a spiritual successor to the OnePlus 10 Pro than like a successor to the OnePlus 11. And fun fact, at launch, the OnePlus 10 Pro's 12 to 56GB variant, which was the top-end variant at that time, was priced at 71,999. Therefore, I think the bump in pricing is inevitable, but to make the deal even sweeter, I think it would be awesome if OnePlus can price it somewhere in the 60,000-65,000 mark, maybe along with some card discounts or something. That would be really cool. What do you think is the ideal price for the OnePlus 12? What would you pay for it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.